Good evening, everybody. October 11th, 2021. Let's take a quick look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been asserting its dominance over the alts, as we've all seen. We may have already topped here. Remember, I was saying this 57.7 right here was a key area I was looking at. It's that 618 of my more macro chart. Technically, this lower time frame 5 waves targets up here a little bit higher, 60 to 62. However, it is possible that we just truncated right there. With the strength Bitcoin has been showing, I would not be shocked to see it push all the way up here into the 60s before getting a pullback. But I would be remiss if I didn't say that this potentially could be the top, which I have been mentioning a couple times now. So, you know, that's fine with me. If that's the top, fantastic. Then I can get my buys down here on the wave 2 pullback that I'm looking for. If it goes up a little bit higher, that's fine with me too. I may even short in this region here. Haven't quite decided yet on that, but we really should be getting towards the top of this move before we see a more protracted pullback of some sort, or at least a consolidation, and we'll go from there. But really micro, I can't really count this as 5 waves up yet, which is kind of the key, as you know, like 1, 2, 3, 4. We really should get at least one more up, I would think, at least to that low 60K range, the bottom of this box. But we could spike up higher. So at the moment, that is my expectation, is that we get up into that box. Let's talk about what happens if we don't. So what I'm going to do is remove this, because this green box here technically was for this 4, but 4 I think played out more as a flat correction instead, which just showed the strength in Bitcoin that it didn't even have a chance to kind of come down into that box. So anyway, I'm going to get rid of this and get rid of this fib. I'm going to leave that red box there, so we know that's the main resistance that we're looking for on this. But let's just play devil's advocate right now and say, okay, this is actually the top right here. If it did in fact top there, what are we looking at? So number one, if we draw a fib from the bottom to the top here, we would typically look for anywhere between the 382 and the 618 for a wave 2 pullback, which is anywhere in this region here. So that's basically 45 to 50K. But what I want to point out is, like I said, I've been talking about on the macro chart, the zoomed out chart. If we top at the 618, we really typically want to see this hold at the 382. And what's interesting is that this fib, the yellow 382, matches up pretty much exactly with the blue 382. So we have some confluence there that basically 50K is probably going to be the bottom of the next pullback if we've already topped and if this is a traditional pullback. If we do go up higher, then we just kind of drag this yellow fib up and get some higher targets here. Basically anywhere between 52 down to 46 would be legitimate. But really, if we extended to this 764 fib, we'd really want to see probably the 0.5 hold, maybe the 382 on a deep one. So again, we're looking at maybe down to 50. Below 50K doesn't break this completely, but it would put the bullish intent into question. So pretty much no matter what, I'm still going to keep my longs right around that 50K region, because no matter what happens here, that's going to be the region that I think should hold. So certainly need to keep an eye on what happens here when we actually top out, to get those targets, and potentially we have higher targets if this goes all the way up. We may have some higher targets here, more like 53. So I may need to add some if that does happen. But for now, pretty much everything remains as it was, remains the same. And the only thing that I can say, like for the bears, is basically if we go back below this level here, that was our our A in wave 4, which is like right around 53, then I would say that we are done already with 5, and we can look for longs, but it really changes absolutely nothing as far as the plan goes. This is still the area to long, so you know, if we break that, it's not worth it to stop out of positions or anything, but that would be an indication at least that 5 is topped if we break that level. All right, I think that pretty much sums it up. There's not too much else to say on it, so let's just see if we get these higher targets here, or if we top out here at the 618, as honestly I was kind of hoping we would, because it just gives us a cleaner area here at the 382. All right, good night everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow.